I remember a call which really demonstrates what we do as TIP volunteers. It was a spring morning and I was at a hardware store doing some shopping. My cell phone rang. It was my TIP dispatcher. She told me that the volunteer who was on schedule that day had already been called out to be with someone. And another call had come in, and would I be willing to go? I said, sure. Shortly, I was out at that scene and the police officer came out and he said, "Oh, we're so glad you're here." And he took me in and introduced me to my client, who was a 12-year-old girl. Her mother had just died a few minutes before, and there was no one. No father, no grandparents, no aunts or uncles. She was alone. She was truly an orphan. She asked me if I'd like some tea, and we went in the kitchen, and she put the pot on the stove. As we talked, I realized she had a sort of grace and maturity that could only come from having to play an adult role for a long time. Turns out, she'd been the primary caregiver for her very sick mom. As we sat down and we drank the tea, I noticed a violin case, and I asked if she played the violin. She said yes. I said, "I played the violin when I was your age. Could I give it a try?" She handed me the violin, and I began to play a sort of melancholy song. I handed the violin back to her, and she began to play, and she played something that sounded sort of sad as well. And as she was playing, my heart just broke. And I looked up at the police officers that were in the room, and they too were starting to tear up. And we all realized that there was no way to fix anything about this tragedy. There was nothing that I could do, really, but sit with her and drink tea and play the violin while this little 12-year-old girl's world completely turned upside down.
I think a TIP volunteer needs to be a good listener, and they need to have few words. We just need to be able to listen and be there. A silent presence is probably the best way to describe it.
A desire to help people.
I would say compassion, responsibility, because they count on you to be there when you get called, so you need to be available and ready to go. Accountability, and just general humanity.
I think you have to be a good listener, and I think you have to really care about people where they're at.
Just someone who's open and honest and humble.
I can offer them my time and my ability to speak Spanish. I can offer listening ears, a heart that genuinely cares. I'm not afraid to get in the pit with somebody and experience that trauma alongside of them.
It takes a commitment, and you have to be ready for your calls. And what I mean by that is you have to emotionally be ready, to take on a call, be ready for a call. Kind of have to have things uncluttered at the time that you're on shift.
I make it a priority in my scheduling on my monthly calendar so that I don't become overburdened with other responsibilities. The other thing that I think is really critically important is to have a very supportive family who is 100% behind you and understanding why you do this volunteer work and what it means to you and what it means to the community that you live in. My son and my mom, they're proud of me that I'm able to help citizens that are in a traumatic event, and they brag about me.
It's enriched it every day, every hour, every minute. I'm reminded about all of the good things and the good people that we have in our community.
It has helped me to see that there's a lot of need for caring people, caring for the people also. A lot of people, when they're in a crisis, don't understand or don't know what to do. And that's where TIP can aid them.
As TIP volunteers, we have lots of training and resources. We understand about different cultures and religions and their traditions surrounding death. We have resources that we can give someone if they've had a loved one die by suicide. We understand about children and teens and how they cope with death. We can help a parent who's trying to figure out how to tell a child that someone they love has died. We can help with funeral arrangements. We understand how the emergency response system works. But none of these resources in this training really matters. Whether it's someone whose spouse of 60 years has died, or whether it's a 12-year-old girl who's just become an orphan. What really matters is the purity of our attention, and that we are a caring and compassionate presence on the very worst day of someone's life. That's what it means to be a TIP volunteer.
I am TIP.
I am TIP.
I am TIP.
I am TIP.